Now at 6, we look at Proposition Public Safety on tomorrow's ballot in Joplin. Plus, the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office receives a grant to upgrade outdated equipment and how rising mortgage rates are impacting potential home buyers in the area.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Tomorrow, citizens of Joplin will decide to vote for or against a higher property tax to help the Joplin Police and Fire Departments get officer retention and increase hiring. This is KOAM News at 6. Both the fire and police departments say they're understaffed and underfunded. The proposed tax would levy a $1 tax for every $100 of assessed value on property. The police department says they need 22 new officers, while the fire department says it's lost firefighters to other fire departments and to retirement.
Expenditures like this, the city budget doesn't have the flexibility to add $9 million in additional expense the way we're set up. So we've got to find something in addition to the sales tax revenue.
Again, Joplin residents will vote on that proposition tomorrow. A number of other state and local races will also be on the ballots in tomorrow's primaries. Kansans will also decide a constitutional amendment on the right to abortion. In Missouri, polls will open at 6 a.m., run until 7 p.m. In Kansas, they're open from 7 to 7. We'll have election results on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. A $3 million federal grant will help fund the commercialization of materials made on the campus of Pittsburgh State University. State and local leaders made the announcement today at the university's Tyler Research Center. That's home to the National Institute for Materials Advancement, where the school works with scientists and government agencies to find ways to use sustainable materials to create products. The grant will help find ways to make those products commercially available.
Companies that we recruit into the area. We've got one of our tenants right now in one of our laboratories here is developing technology right now in here. The company owns that technology on here. The university receives royalties and so forth off of that as it moves out into the marketplace.
The organizer says the grant will launch the Center for Commercialization, which will take the research to the next level. The center will bring in business partners and help create economic development teams. Kansas Senator Jerry Moran today announced new federal resources for the Cherokee County Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Office received $60,000 to buy non-lethal weapons, enhanced tasers, and cameras on their guns.
Violence has skyrocketed across the country, and the Midwest is not immune to that. And so our deputies are seeing an increase in violent situations on a regular basis. And these tools are going to allow us to apprehend those suspects in a safer way that will not only be safer for the suspects, but for the deputies and the community at large.
Senator Moran is the lead Republican on the Senate Appropriations Subcommittee on Commerce, Justice, Science, and Related Agencies, which helped him secure the funds. Mortgage interest rates have doubled since the beginning of the year. With fluctuating rates, potential home buyers are navigating a changing market. Some local realtors say that there had been a very strong market. They say it's slowed a bit. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has more.
The housing market has been shifting dramatically all year. The recent increase in housing interest rates made potential home buyers hesitate when searching for a home.
If you were shopping in January for a home, you were shopping at 3.5% interest. If you didn't find a home between January and now you look at the market and you're like, my interest rates doubled. Like, that took me out of what I was even looking at. So
Ryan understands that home buyers can get cold feet when they see national interest rates increase. However, he wants them to keep this in mind.
But what they say now is marry the home, date the rate.
Rate fluctuates, and refinancing is a great way to snag a lower rate while living in your home. Brittany Guthrie do not want her clients to reject their dream home over rates.
I mean, interest rates are something that concern my clients because the media surrounds, so much drama around interest rates. Historically, 5 to 6% is an average interest rate. It's really not bad. It's a lot lower than what a lot of people have bought homes at. So
when it comes to the housing market, it's best to look at the long run.
In the long run, as long as you own a house if you're planning on owning it for about 5 years, then you should be okay. The numbers just continue to increase and home values increase. So
both realty experts foresee a shift in the market soon, a shift to a buyer's advantage. In Joplin, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
Now, if you do buy a home in the Joplin area, if you're looking for one, you should contact a local expert to help guide you through interest rates and the housing market. Meteorologist Sam Lane is new to the weather team. He joins us with our first look at the weather.
Thank you very much, Dow. Well, it was nice while it lasted. The cool weather over the weekend with the showers and rain has now given way to the heat again across our area. You can see yesterday we topped out around 89. Today we topped out at 99 degrees, and that is bad news. We like the cool weather. But right now in Joplin, we're looking at a high of 99, which was 8 degrees above the normal. Not anywhere close to the record of 108, thank goodness, but we've seen close to that earlier this summer. 74 was the low and 70 is normal, so we were above on both sides of the thermometer today. Storm tracker radar shows a few showers way up to the north in southern Butler County, and if we zoom in on that, you can see it extends from just south and east of Butler to Shell City to just west of Stockton and on the southern end of Lake Stockton, but that is about it. It's been dry pretty much all day, and it's going to stay that way for the evening as we drop through the 90s into the 80s. Lows tomorrow should be around mid-70s. And of course, I'll have details on the forecast coming up in just a few short minutes.
Thanks, Sam. See you soon. Southwest Missouri man is dead from an early morning crash. Authorities say Franklin Bradley was driving on Lawrence 2040 in Miller, Missouri, where his car went off the road, hit a fence and tree, and overturned. Bradley died at the scene. Authorities responded to a call last night in Montgomery County, Kansas. They say when they arrived, they found a car upside down in the ditch where they found 40-year-old Amber Beckenhold of Elk City, Kansas. She also died at the scene. Coming up, why Mercy Hospital tightened their restrictions on who they test for COVID. Plus, a look at how the state of Kansas and teachers look to adapt to a teacher shortage. Mercy Hospital is not testing just anyone for COVID. The hospital is staying prepared by rationing their COVID tests. Unless you're symptomatic or have a referral from your doctor, Mercy's emergency room is directing people to go to outpatient testing sites. This is to make sure there are enough tests for critically ill patients.
I wouldn't say that there's really a strict criteria where if they meet this, we test them emergently. It's really truly a patient by patient basis, and sometimes even comes into play with what our supply chain looks like right now.
To find free testing sites for your area, you can visit our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. This fall, Kansas could face its worst teacher shortage, according to numbers from the Kansas Department of Education. The department reports that 4% of jobs are unfilled as of July of this year. Reporter Abby Higginbotham has more.
The school year is quickly approaching, which means kids and teachers will be headed back to the classroom. However, Kansas teacher Jennifer Farr, Christy Link, and Sam Neal agree on one thing. This fall, there will not be enough teachers for every classroom in Kansas.
Things that used to work to draw teachers out to your community, we're not seeing the applicants.
The Kansas Department of Education reports that going into this school year, over 1,400 positions are vacant, leaving current teachers having to fill in the gaps.
People asked me last year and the last 2 years what my role is. And I'm like, well, sub, reading teacher, lunchroom, like assistant principal sometimes. And we've been really, really short of sub, and we've had several teachers out on the same day. We've farmed kids out by like, you take 5 extra, you take 5 extra. So, I mean, we have really thought outside the box to keep kids safe and make sure they're still learning. And
so why are we seeing this shortage?
We don't compensate teachers enough. I think the work is hard. There's a lot of expectations, a lot of responsibility that comes with educating students. Responsibility weighs on people, and it tires them, and they seek employment elsewhere because they feel like they've given all that they can give.
And helping educate more kids comes at a cost for teachers.
That sometimes comes with giving up a planned period or something like that. So while they're compensated for that, there's still time that has to be found throughout the day. And then that affects family life, and it affects, their home life too.
As much as the extra work is stressful, it's essential until there is enough teachers.
It's easy for a restaurant to close when they don't have enough staff. But we're not given that. I can't close a school because I don't have enough staff. I have kids that need to be educated, kids that need to be in school.
The state of Kansas has taken several steps to help mitigate the shortages this fall. The Department of Education voted to make it easier for returned retired teachers rather, to return to the classroom if they choose. The Board of Education also voted to maintain lower qualifications for substitute teachers in Kansas this summer. A little bit later, Pittsburgh Post 64 heads to the regional tournament for the second straight year.
And we got spoiled over the weekend with cooler temperatures. When we return, I'll tell you how long it's going to last right after this. Well, folks, 2 months of summer down, 1 more to go, and it looks like August has certainly started off very summer-like once again across the 4-state area. You can see clear blue skies down at Seneca, Missouri with Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. A beautiful evening shaping up down there. Let's take a look at July because it was quite impressive as far as the temperatures. 97.8 was the average high, 73.6 was the average low, and so as a result, we ended up with around 86 degrees for the average temperature. And folks, that means it was the 5th hottest July in Joplin history, going all the way back to the early 1900s. So August is starting to shape up very similar to July. Hopefully we'll get some relief. But right now, we're looking at rainfall amounts very sparse over the last 24 hours. Down near Tulsa, a little bit of rain there. Also in southern Benton County, a little bit of shower activity there. And also over near Rolla. But that is about it. Nada for the 4 states area last night as far as rainfall. What we do have plenty of is heat. And that's temperatures in the 90s once again. 94 in Tulsa, 97 in Neodesha and Independence. 95 in Nowata, a little bit cooler over in Cassville where they're currently sitting at 92, and as well as Bella Vista. Now when you factor in the dew point, it feels a lot hotter. Check this out, 104 in Nevada and Stockton right now, 92 in Bentonville, 102 in Yates Center. Meanwhile in Webb City it feels like 97 degrees. Our rangeline camera looks pretty nice, just a few altocumulus out there right now. 94 currently in Joplin with a southwest wind at 20. It's been gusting quite high today, helping it feel a little bit like a blast furnace. A temperature of 67 on the dew point makes it feel like it's 98 degrees right now in Joplin. Now, the good news is we do have some rain in the forecast, and you can see on our rain tracker, not a whole lot expected, maybe a 1/4 of an inch over in Stockton and Mount Vernon by the time we go through the forecast. But at this point, we'll take whatever we can get because it is extremely dry and the drought certainly continues. This evening, we're going to see temperatures dropping down into the upper 70s to around 80 degrees by 11 o'clock. Then as we go through the day tomorrow, notice we're going to see temperatures starting out in the upper 70s. And then as we go through the day, 99 in Joplin, 100s out towards our west with 102 in Sedan. A little bit cooler, if you want to call 94 cooler, over there in Monette. Then as we go through the evening hours, temperatures dropping once again into the 80s. But notice a cold front up to the north, but it runs out of gas. Once it gets closer to us, we're going to have to wait for a stronger front to approach us late Wednesday into early Thursday, and I think that's going to come sailing through and finally drop our temperatures just a little bit for your Thursday. Let's take a look at the forecast over the next 7 days. I had to do it, Dow. I had to throw 100 in there. We'll probably reach 100 tomorrow, but you know, I'm trying to be nice. 100 for Wednesday and a little bit cooler for Thursday, but then of course we go right back into the furnace in time for the weekend.
Well, thank you for
You're welcome.
Sam Lane, new to the weather team. Good to have you
Thank
here
you very
filling in
much.
for Doug
Glad to be
tonight.
here.
Danny joins us now. Pittsburgh Post 64 is headed to the regional tournament for the second straight year.
Yeah, we caught up with the team this morning before they left for Alabama. And Missouri Southern running back Nathan Glades aims to build off a strong freshman season. For the second straight year, Pittsburgh Post 64 won the state title and will be competing in the Mid-South Regional Tournament. The Patriots hit the road for Alabama this morning. They enter the regional tournament with a 16-10-1 record. Pittsburgh is expecting their tough schedule to continue to pay off this postseason. The Patriots have a few returning players, and those guys have a bit of a chip on their shoulders following last year's early exit.
We definitely played some good teams last year and didn't come out on top, but I think that just drives us even harder to win some this year and make it even farther into the tournament and see what we can do. Our pitchers have been awesome. We've been going 5-6 innings deep per start, and our defense has been, our outfield especially, has been incredible for us. They pretty much get to every ball in the air. It really puts a real lot of pressure on another team's offense.
Pittsburgh Post 64 faces Tupelo, the Mississippi State champs, in their first game of the tournament on Wednesday at 1 p.m. It will be a good challenge. Tupelo is 32-1 this season. Today marks 1 month until college football returns. Missouri Southern kicks off their season on September 1st against Nebraska Kearney, and the Lions are aiming to build off a 3-8 record from last year, their best since 2014. Running back Nathan Glades was a big part of last year's success. As a freshman, he led the rushing attack with 737 yards and 5 touchdowns. The Joplin product should once again play a key role in Missouri Southern's offense. Here is head coach Atiba Bradley on his expectations for Glades in his sophomore season.
I just need Nathan to be Nathan. You know, I need Nathan to be healthy. I need Nathan to run the ball hard. You know, it's anytime you're a young guy and you start getting a lot of reps, it's now time for you to step up and be a leader. You know, he does a great job leading by example, but you know, between him and Dawson, those are our 2 highest production guys returning. So it's very, very important for Nathan just to continue to be a leader on the football field for us.
The Kansas City Chiefs are back in action at training camp in St. Joe. The Chiefs are taking things up a notch this week. Today is the first practice with full pads. Travis Kelce speaks about his impression of center Creed Humphrey as he enters his 2nd season in the league.
That dude, Creed, he's a war dog, man. And doesn't matter what the situation is, you know you're going to get him standing in the front, holding his ground. And that's the type of leader you want up front, man. A guy that isn't scared of a damn thing and can go and bang with the best of them. And sure enough, Creed's done an awesome job just in his first year, and I can't wait to see what he does this year. That's it for sports. We're back after this.
Take a moment now to honor a local veteran. James Collins served in the U.S. Navy from 1964 to 1976. His hometown, Pequot, Kansas, and we're proud to salute Petty Officer First Class James Collins, all 4-state hero. You can learn about lots of other heroes. We have thousands of them in our database. You can look them up by hometown or by last name. You can also submit a hero of your own anytime. It's very simple. You just click on the link on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We're going to hear more from supporters and opponents of Joplin's Proposition Public Safety. Plus, a reaction from lawmakers and veterans after the U.S. Senate fails to pass a bill aimed at helping veterans exposed to toxic burn pits. And how you could become the mayor of Bacon City and score free bacon for life. How about that? Those stories and a lot more tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. I do not know exactly what that story is all about.
I'm intrigued.
I am as well. You bet. Bacon for life? Why not?
Yeah, well, you can make some bacon out on the sidewalks, that's for sure, with this hot air. 100 probably tomorrow. I threw 98 in there, but let's look at Wednesday, 100. A little bit cooler on Thursday, and then as we head towards the weekend, still close to 100 degrees, and a chance of showers here and there on Thursday and next week.
Thanks for joining us. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, President Biden is delivering remarks on a successful counterterrorism operation. See you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.